All right, let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs ground game. I know that might not seem like something that matters that much, but trust me, it really does. So for one thing, a lot of what the Chiefs like to do is something like what you see on your screen. It's going to be a play action. That's what they do. Run to play action, are able to make it work. Hollywood Brown gets open. Let's talk about the ground game. If you're going to run play action, you're going to run the ball a lot. And if you're going to run the ball a lot, you have to be at least somewhat successful at it. The Chiefs have been somewhat successful at it this year. Again, I know that's not what we think of when we think the Chiefs, but we maybe should because they do run the ball a decent amount. Don't get me wrong, you look at their pass over expected, they still pass well over expected. They're still a pass heavy team, don't get me wrong, but they run the ball a decent amount and they actually have success. They're 13th best in rush EPA. The reason they throw a lot is because they have Mahomes, and even some of the passes are ones like I just showed you, right? Play actions. So let's show a play like this. This is kind of what they like to do. In fact, they're very tricky in how they run the ball. They are not just, saying, okay, let's, just hand the ball off, hope our guys can block. They're going to move guys around. Here, the center is pulling to the right, but they're also having a jet sweep motion towards the left. And as you see, it works out well. Creed Humphrey's able to get over. Kareem Hunt makes a nice move, almost gets around another guy, but is able to make a nice run. And again, this is what they want. They want to keep you on your toes, have you not really sure what's going on. Looked like the Bills had a run blitz towards the other side of the field. So again, this is the Andy Reid stuff. This is what they want to do. In fact, this play is one that I thought was very fun, where what's going to happen is so you have multiple tight ends who are in the backfield on this play. Both are going to run out towards the right. So, the Buffalo Bills are saying, well, let's defend towards the right. Look at those three players and how much they've shifted towards the bottom of the screen. And I'm sure, as you have already guessed, Kareem Hunt has the ball and he's going toward the other side of the field. What's actually really fun is that later on in this game, they essentially did the exact same concept, and they had Kareem Hunt still go towards the top of the screen, but Mahomes kept the ball and ran towards the bottom of the screen, and that worked and got them a touchdown later. But watch that Bills player on this one. So he's the one unblocked guy. This concept isn't designed to I actually think it's designed just to set up Mahomes being able to rush later on in the game. But as of right here, it's still working out. And you have the safety and Kareem Hunt one-on-one. Here's the other thing is, I actually just think Kareem Hunt's played pretty well this year. Watch, as you see, he's going to make a move and get into the end zone for a touchdown. A lot of people have said, oh, this is proof running backs don't matter. Kareem Hunt, they signed him off the street and he's able to still be successful. I mean, it is kind of funny that, they signed him off the street and then you have Saquon Barkley on the other side. The difference is in how they value running backs. But, he's played well. He's made moves this season. Don't disrespect him. Also, another thing we just have to talk about when it comes to this stuff is the fact that Mahomes is going to run at times, right? His rushing attempts and yards per game go way up into playoffs, and then they go way up again in Super Bowls. And some of that will be scrambles, of course, but some of that will be something like this. Really a huge moment in this game where it's a 4th down and 1. If the Chiefs don't convert here, the Bills get the ball in Kansas City territory. Could they score a touchdown and go up 2 scores late in the second quarter? I don't know, and I never will, because you're going to see Mahomes runs this play action, or play fake, I should say, and scrambles and gets a first down right there. I got to say, if it's 4th and 1, you have to have a guy paying attention to Mahomes. You just do. They've done this. They did this in the Super Bowl against San Francisco last year. You got to pay attention to it. Now, of course, I say the Chiefs' running game has been all right this year. It hasn't been otherworldly, and there are ways you can beat it. For one thing, okay, Travis Kelce, listen, I'm not going to do the whole, he can't block. I think he's an okay blocker. He's not a superstar, though, and when you want to use him in several ways, what that means is that sometimes he's going to have to block and be a key blocker on certain rushing plays. As you see on this one, you see Matt Milano really kind of gets him out of position right there. The Eagles have physical linebackers, and in fact, they have just physical players in general. They're able to get him out of position. You see their other linebacker is in position now to take on Kareem Hunt, so also he has to do a good job of getting in position. They're able to stop Kareem Hunt at the line. Definitely possible. I think he gained 1 yard on that play. This is something that, let's just be honest, Philadelphia can do. Do they have good linebackers? Yes, they have good linebackers. Watch, this is Zach Bond, who is not just a good linebacker, but he is a all-pro linebacker this season. Watch what he's going to do. As you see, this is going to be a handoff towards the offense's left, but Bond gets all the way over and is able to make the tackle. Again, that ended up being still a decent run, but that's because the rest of the offensive line did well, but Bond prevented it from being even more than that. So he might have his hands full, right? Because the Chiefs are going to be creative in how they do things, try to get him out of position. But when you have a linebacker who's done a great job at being in position, and honestly, even the other linebacker, Oren Burks, who is a backup, I think he's done a really good job at staying in position, which might just come down to coaching and Vic Fangio coaching these guys up. The Chiefs might not get these easy running lanes that they're used to, or the Eagles might not get the easy running stops that they're used to. Well, we'll see. So now let's go over here. Let's talk about the defensive line for the Philadelphia Eagles. Because again, they have so many players is what you like about this Eagles defensive line. Plenty of defensive lines have, maybe 1 or 2 stars, and they have their stars, right? No denying that. But a lot of times in run defense, or in run offense, it's about your depth. And, okay, the player who I've highlighted here is Milton Williams. It feels kind of crazy to call him a depth player. He's been a great interior piece for them this season. But for him, he's not the guy who gets the attention. That's Jalen Carter. However, watch on this play. He is going to do a tremendous job at being able to just do his job on that one, right? Nothing like, oh, that was amazing. But he did his job, was able to make the tackle. They do not gain many yards. And there really is no weak spot of this Eagles defensive line. You try to run on either side, it's probably not going to go great. The Eagles rush defensive stats on the year. They are second best defensively in rush EPA, meaning that's kind of like almost like a passer rating for situations, but essentially what it means is that they are very good at stopping the run. This is not an easy team to run on, and the Chiefs will try to. So for my final chart where I go through and give a 1 to 5 rating for one of the teams that I think has the advantage at the end of each one of these videos, I kind of have to give the advantage to the Eagles and to the Eagles rushing defense right here. I think the Chiefs will be able to do some things. I can't make it overwhelming. I'm going to go +3 Eagles right here, but to me that feels fair. Like, yes, there are really good aspects of this Chiefs rushing attack. They do have very good interior offensive linemen, but again, they've now replaced one of those guys. Joe Thuney is now at tackle instead of at guard. That makes it harder for these inside runs. They can be creative, but creativity can only take you so far in some of this stuff. So as a whole, again, I think the Chiefs will get some rushes, but I don't think this is going to win them the game. I think they're going to have to just do it enough to find other ways to make things happen. But that's just kind of how I see it. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from ya. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.